Hello everyone and welcome back. Today I wanted to take you through how I meal plan a month in advance. This has saved me so much mental energy as a mom and just a busy person because I was finding what happens a lot is the week comes by and I sit down to do my meal plan and I'm blank. I'm at a loss. I feel like we would eat the same thing over and over again. I didn't feel like we were getting a good variety of food, and it was just really stressful trying to figure out what to eat. So now what I've done is I meal plan an entire month in advance, and that way when the week comes up, I already have it figured out. I don't have to think about it. I just have to go to the grocery store, and that's what we're eating that week. So let me take you through that process. I'm going to be doing this in my passport size notebook. This is where I do a lot of my scrappier thinking, where I'm just jotting things down. It's not pretty, it's just quick and to the point. So the way I do this is I start with 4 categories of types of meals. So for example, we are always going to have some type of pasta. I absolutely love pasta. I can't imagine life without it. And so at least once a week, we're gonna have a pasta dish. So I start with this category and then I just write down 3 to 4 pasta dishes. For example, I put down green pasta, mushroom stroganoff, and veggie spaghetti. These are our recipes that we have all the time. I basically have them memorized at this point, and they're always a fan favorite. So another thing that we make quite often is soup, especially when we go to the gym. I like to do a crock pot meal that night, and soups are just a great go-to. So once again, I'll put down my category and I'll write down a couple soup ideas. I just put down potato, broccoli, black bean, and chili. Now I know chili is not technically a soup, but it's a crock pot meal, so I just put that under this category. So for the next category, I'm doing just regular entrees. For this, I wrote down lentil loaf. It's a meatloaf substitute, tofu burritos, and curry. Once again, all pretty easy things we make all the time. And the final category I'm gonna do is just fish. So we are pescatarian. Well, I'm pescatarian. My fiance still eats meat. And so at least once a week, I like to make some type of fish dish. So under the fish category, I'm gonna write down shrimp scampi, baked salmon, and salmon rice bowls. And the baked salmon is with veggies. Now that I have my 4 categories with a couple things under each one, I am gonna start planning out the weeks. Now, like I said, this is really quick and dirty the way I do it in this notebook, so it's not gonna be pretty. So now I have my weeks written out. I'm gonna take a look down my list and I'm gonna think, okay, what on here uses similar ingredients? So for example, the green pasta that I make, that takes a lot of broccoli, and so does a broccoli soup. So I'm gonna put green pasta and broccoli soup for the same week, so that way I can buy broccoli in bulk and none of it is gonna go to waste. And I also know when I do baked salmon, I like to do it with a tray of veggies, and broccoli is a great veggie to do with salmon, so I'm gonna do baked salmon with veggies for this week too. And as I go along, I'm just going to check off the meals that I'm deciding on. And I'm just gonna go through all the weeks and I'm going to divvy up what I'm gonna eat for each week. And this is what it looks like once I have all of my weeks planned out. So this is just for dinners. Now, when it comes time to put it into my planner, I'm gonna get some sticky notes and I'll just do week 1 as an example. So I'm going to make a couple of categories. The first one is going to be breakfast. For breakfast, I'm gonna do 2 things. I'm going to do breakfast burritos for my fiance. These are super easy to make ahead of time and keep in the freezer. And then when he goes to work, he just pops in the microwave, heats it up, and he's good to go. He doesn't have to worry about anything, and he always has a hot meal. For myself, I've been doing overnight oats quite a bit recently. And once again, I just pop it in the microwave and it's good to go. For snacks, my fiance, he'll grab like a granola bar and stuff, so I don't need to worry about that. That's just like a regular restock grocery item. But for myself, I like to make hummus and pita to snack on throughout the day. I'm trying to be better about eating more like beans and protein-rich things instead of just empty calories. And hummus has been a really nice way to do that, especially when I turn it into a wrap with some lettuce and tofu and a little bit of ranch dressing on there. It's so good. So that's our breakfast snacks. And then for dinner, I'm just going to copy down all of the items for week 1. When all of that is done, we should have 4 sticky notes, one for each day of the week that has all of our meals planned out. Now you can also put lunch on here. I tend to just eat whatever leftovers are around the house for lunch. And then my fiance will usually just have a sandwich. So that's kind of already figured out. Sometimes he'll take leftovers. Lunch kind of just depends. But the biggest ones for me to figure out is always dinners. That is just the most stressful thing to try to plan with everything else going on in life. With these sticky notes, I will open up my planner and I literally will just pop it right into the week that we're going to be having that. And I'll do that for the whole month. And so when I come to this week, I'll see this is what we have planned out. I'll make my grocery list. I will write out what days we're going to eat what and kind of take stock of what we need from there. This has freed up so much of my mental energy. I have loved this system, and it also makes things easier for my fiance as well because we have a little whiteboard on our kitchen fridge, and so I'll write this on the whiteboard every Monday so he knows what we're having each day, and if he needs to hop in the kitchen and help me with dinner, it's already planned out. He doesn't have to ask me what we're having or what we have ingredients for. It's ready to go. This also has helped us reduce eating out because it's really easy to get in the habit of having decision paralysis and then just ordering food instead of making it. Because for me, it's not the making of the food that's hard, it's what's in the fridge, what's in the pantry, what do we need to use up? Like the mental load of thinking about dinner for me can be kind of stressful. So I have a couple tips if you are struggling to think about what to make. Maybe you are in the habit of eating out a lot and you don't have a ton of recipes under your belt. So the first tip I have when I am blocked on what to make for dinner, I will go to the website of a local restaurant that I like and I'll look at their menu and then I'll say, ooh, like the salmon rice bowls that we do. I saw that on a menu and I'm like, that sounds really good. How can I make that at home? And I do salmon, rice, broccoli, sweet potato, edamame with some teriyaki sauce over it. It's very simple, easy to make. It's healthy, it's pretty cost effective. And going to your local restaurant's website for inspiration is really nice, especially if you eat out a lot and maybe you have a couple favorite meals. Just figure out how to make it at home and Google, a shrimp scampi recipe or a lasagna recipe and go from there. Also breaking things into categories like the pastas, the soups, the fish, those kind of things. That helps because then you have a smaller window of things to look for. When you go on Pinterest, look up, easy soup ideas, easy pasta ideas, protein-rich like fish bowls, or things like that, and you can go from there. Now, once you have a couple recipes under your belt, keep them in a easy to reach place. Now, if you've been on my channel for a while, you might recognize my old A5 binder. I could not part with this beauty, even though I don't use it for my planning anymore. This is now my household plans binder. So all the way in the back here, I have these separate tabs, and each of these is for a different category of food. So I've got sides, I've got baking. Here's that lentil loaf recipe I was talking about, and my mushroom stroganoff recipe. And a lot of these recipes I've actually found from YouTube videos. Watch a video, see somebody else making it, and that will give you a really good basis of how to do it yourself. What I've done here is because oftentimes I will find a recipe on Pinterest I like or on YouTube, I'll screenshot it, and once you've cooked it, you kind of understand the gist of how to do it, And I have summarized the instructions quite a bit, because if you look on a website, the instruction, each bullet point will be like a paragraph of like chop X, Y, and Z, saute X, Y, and Z. So I've just really pared it down in these recipe cards to be super simple. Because I've cooked them before, I know the gist of how to do it. And sometimes I just need reminding, like toast the cumin, coriander before you add the onions, and then let it rest and toast. Then you add the potatoes. Once it's soft, then you add the chickpeas, then the spinach, served with white rice. It's super basic, super simple. This is a lot easier for me to look at than one of those long recipe cards. All of these I have drawn up in Canva. I am trying to figure out a way that I can share it with you guys. I haven't quite figured it out yet, but it's really easy even if you go in a Word document or if you pull out a notebook and just write it by hand. It's very nice to have your own recipes typed out. I find also when I have recipe books that have a bunch of tabs or they're really hard to like lay flat in the kitchen while you're cooking, it's kind of just nice to have one of these. You can open it up, pop the page out, and then if this gets messed up, I have the file. I could just reprint it if I need to. Another thing you could try is going to ChatGPT. Honestly, I've used Gemini before and asked for meal ideas, and it's helpful. Some of the things that it suggests aren't the most appetizing, but it is an interesting way to get some ideas if you want to dabble with that. Personally, I find just going on YouTube, Pinterest, or looking at local menus to be the best way to get recipe ideas. But I hope you have enjoyed this video. Let me know what you think if you're going to be doing your own month in advance meal prep. I hope this has helped you out a little bit just to make life a little bit easier. This is the year where I'm really trying to streamline and simplify my life to save me some mental energy. But until next time, like and subscribe for more. I'll see you then. Bye.